Good morning, students. Welcome back to your geography class. Today we are going to start with chapter number 2, that is major landforms of the earth. Now before getting into this topic, I want you all to recall your memories and just observe. If you travel to few places, the students who travel to new places, you must have observed that the surface of the earth is uneven at some places. Uneven means some places you will find that the surface is very high, some places you will find that the surface is very low. So all these, when you see, these are the natural elevations. These are the different landforms. Now what are these different landforms? These are natural elevations. Now how are they formed? What is the process of formation of these? We'll come to know in this chapter. Now what I want to convey to you all is that these landforms are gifted to us by nature. That is why we call them as natural elevations. Now, like I said, that some places if you travel you must have seen high places, hilly areas, mountains. Some places are lower than the mountains and they are called as plateaus. Plateaus are raised tableland. Plains. Plains are plain surface, the flat surface of land which is generally found near the river banks, which are generally located near the rivers. Those are known as plains. Mountains are very high. Example. These are mountains. Now what are the features of mountains? Mountains have a steep summit and broad base. The topmost surface is known as the summit and the lower portion is known as the base. So the base is very broad and the summit, the top of it is very steep, conical in shape. Now coming to the lower direction, we have plateaus. Plateaus is a raised tableland. It is raised land. It can be same for a few kilometers, and then comes plains. Plain is a flat surface of land, whereas plateaus is a raised tableland, which is between the mountain and above, between the mountains and the plains. Now plains, like I said, it is attached, it is generally near the riverside. So these are mountains, plateaus and plains. There are many more landforms like canyons, delta, desert, lake. These all are different landforms. But now we are just going to understand what are the different types of landforms and how are they formed. The process of formation, that is endogenic process and exogenic process. Okay, so we are going to study about endogenic and exogenic process. Now the first process is endogenic process. Now what is endogenic process? So the first process that gives rise to different landform is endogenic process. Now endogenic process is also known as tectonic process. Now what is tectonic process? Tectonic processes are there inside the earth. Okay? Now there are tectonic plates deep inside the earth. Now I am going to draw the anatomy of earth where you can easily understand what is the anatomy. Now the center portion of the earth has core. Okay? Then above the core we have the lower crust. Above that we have the upper crust, and this is the surface. Surface is the place where people live and build their houses. Surface, this is the upper crust, then the lower crust, and then we have the core. Now core is made up of hot molten rocks. Hot molten rocks that we can see when a volcano erupts. Okay, when a volcano erupts we can see the lava coming out, and that comes from the core of the earth, from the center of the earth. Okay, Above core we have the lower crust, above that we have the upper crust, and then where we live is called the surface, where we can do the agricultural activities, where we see the rivers, where we see the mountains. Those are on the surface of the earth. Now, what is the tectonic process? Now, if you see the upper crust and lower crust, they are made up of solid rocks. Okay, they are hard rocks which keep on rotating inside the earth. Endogenic means tectonic process, and tectonic process goes on inside the earth, not on the surface but inside the earth. Okay, now what happens that forms the different landforms? Now when these tectonic plates are moving inside the earth, what happens if they collide with each other? The tectonic plates are moving, and when they collide with each other, why do they collide? Because the pressure is exerted from both the sides. Okay, from this side also the plates are moving, from that side also the plates are moving. Now when they collide with each other, there forms a raised land. Okay, a land where it collides, the land is raised, and that is how a landform, a mountain, a plateau is formed. Okay, so this is called tectonic process, which gives shape to the land, which forms different landforms. Okay, so this is tectonic process which goes on inside the earth. Now in endogenic process we have seen that it is all about the tectonic process. Now it is also called internal forces. What are internal forces? Internal forces that goes on inside the earth. Now for example, the globe that we see now, the globe in earlier days was not the same. Each and every continent was attached to each other. Okay, like now we see on the globe we have South America, North America, Asia, Australia. Earlier in olden days, when the earth was in its original form, each and every continent was attached with each other. But because of the natural phenomena, they all got separated. The earthquakes, the volcanoes, the river forces, all these were responsible for distributing these continents. All these continents got separated from each other. Now if we take the current example of tectonic process, we can see that there was an earthquake in the year 2014 or 15 where Nepal experienced a heavy earthquake. The earthquake which was of high magnitude, okay, very intense. Now in that process what happened, the tremors that took place inside the earth's crust, what happened, the tectonic plate of India and Nepal got separated. Okay, earlier India and Nepal were joined. The tectonic plates were at the same place, but because of the high intensity, high magnitude earthquake, those tectonic plates got parted. Okay, now if this keeps on carrying on, what will happen after hundreds of years or 200 years? India will become an island. India will get separated from the continent of Asia and it will totally be captured by the Indian Ocean. Same way, after millions of years, the map, the shape of the earth, the shape of the landforms, the continents might be separated again. Then after millions of years or hundreds of years, we will be having a different world now. Okay, so these all process takes hundreds and millions of years to change the landform. Okay, and that is all because of the tectonic process, the tectonic process that goes on inside the earth. I hope all of you have understood the endogenic process. If you have any problem with the endogenic process, you can ask me on my WhatsApp. So I will keep it till here. Tomorrow we'll learn about the exogenic process. Exogenic process, a brief description about it will be given to you all in the next video, in the next class. So that time, till now, whatever is discussed, go through it, revise it, and I'll be sending you the picture on your WhatsApp. Kindly read and try to understand. Thank you.